This is the third part of a multi-part series on stress. If you missed the first or second videos, please do check them out. However, it is not absolutely necessary in order to get something worthwhile out of this video, but it is helpful. Today, we are focusing on how you can choose to reduce the suffering that results from your stress. If you're new to my videos, welcome. I'm Chelsy Castro, lawyer turned psychotherapist on a mission to help you work, live, and feel better. I train lawyers and other high achievers to help them get the careers and keep the lives that they want in a healthy way. So let's dive right in. So far, we have covered what stress actually is and why you should not be trying to eliminate it. We also discussed how our thoughts can make our stress even worse. Last time, I asked you to raise your awareness of your thinking errors. We went through a list of common thinking errors, and I challenged you to start noticing which of those thinking errors your brain might be using in response to your stressors. Jumping to conclusions, polarized or black and white thinking, catastrophizing, shoulding, musting, you may have noticed that you might have a few go-tos. That is totally normal. Once you are able to notice that your thoughts might be off target because of thinking errors, then you can start to challenge them. Yes, I just said challenge your thoughts. As we discussed last week, thoughts are not facts. I'll repeat that. Thoughts are not facts. Our thoughts are not necessarily based on the facts before us, so it stands to reason that there is an alternative way to think about things, and thus alternate the way we act. Now, don't get me wrong, this is not easy stuff, but it is a critical step in gaining control over your stress. You see, stress is going to happen. We cannot control that. And if you remember from our first video, we are not trying, nor should we try to totally eliminate stress. It just isn't a productive or helpful thing to do. What we are aiming for here is to mitigate or decrease the suffering that results from the initial stress response. You can do that by choosing how you respond to stress once you realize your brain is reacting to the stressor. You can respond with purpose, or you can react based only on emotion. There's actually a choice here. It is just that most of us never had that pointed out to us. The choice happens after the moment where you encounter the stressor, the moment after you feel the fear, the sadness, the anger, etc. Your feelings are valid, but they do not have to control your behavior or ruin the rest of your day or your relationships or your productivity. Okay, so what is making this choice look like? Well, it will obviously be different for every person in every situation, but one common experience for many of my clients looks a little like the following. I need to make a call that I do not want to make. I feel uncomfortable and maybe even scared. I feel so uncomfortable that I do not want to make the call and maybe even have been looking to do other stuff in order to avoid it. Procrastination, by the way. And side note, what's going on here is that you are wanting to avoid the uncomfortable feeling that you think is going to result from the call. So you are looking for things to do in order to avoid that feeling. Avoid that feeling that your brain is interpreting as a threat. But the thing is that there's no actual threat here yet. You are not being hunted by a predator, but your brain does not know the difference. And nothing has actually happened yet that is actually a threat. At this stage, you are just afraid based on what you are thinking might happen. So back to our hypothetical. This colleague, boss, friend, whoever you're afraid is going to scream and think, that I'm less than. Okay, I feel stressed. Usually I would just procrastinate and avoid making this type of call to this person, and then it all piles up and I have other issues. I know I'm supposed to try to identify if this thing that I'm thinking that they're going to scream at me is a thinking error, and then look for evidence to support it or not. And this might be jumping to conclusions because I don't actually know for sure that they will scream at me and think less of me because of this call. And I know other people have delivered worse news before and they have not been screamed at or fired or demoted, and it is very likely that this colleague or friend or client would actually prefer that I tell them this information now rather than later or not at all. And I know that this person, colleague, friend, whatever, is a different person than this other colleague, friend, client who used to scream at me. And it's possible that sometimes your thoughts might be thinking errors, but it's also possible that they might often be. It is worth challenging your automatic thoughts to see if they are really leading you to make the best decisions and go down the path of either increasing or reducing the suffering from stress. You do have a choice here in how you respond after the initial stressor, in this case, needing to make a call you don't want to make. Just try it out and stay tuned for more videos in the series in which we go a little deeper into the kind of stuff that might be making it tough to do this thought challenging and what to do after you actually challenge those thoughts. So for today, just try working on examining the evidence before you and using it to challenge those potential thinking errors instead of just assuming your thoughts are facts. That's it for now. Until next time, take care.